What's up guys, it's Messed Up Swede. Today I'm gonna be checking out this video by Crime Sweden investigators. Don't forget to go subscribe to their channel as well, they make some good videos. This one is about a rapper getting shot. A few rappers getting like explosions in their apartment buildings and some gang stuff, so yeah. Sweden, I'm not gonna say Sweden, but Stockholm, yeah, that's a war zone right now, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's looking crazy right now. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe as well, man. And let me know what you think about all of this.
And there was always something happening. The police would come out all the time. You know, neighbors complaining, fights, robberies, name it. Everything is happening around here.
On Monday evening at 1938, January 16th, 2023, several shots
Yeah, so that's a bit more than a week ago.
were fired in a residential area in Hagalund in Solna in northern Stockholm. According to the information that has come out, witnesses have heard at least two.
Oh, so this is in north. This isn't even in Stockholm. Oh. I'm not gonna lie, I thought BLOCCBOY was from Stockholm. But yeah, I guess not.
According to the information that has come out, witnesses have heard at least two shots. Later, police found a young man lying in a courtyard in an area with apartment buildings. Information in the media said that the victim was shot from behind with several shots, including the neck and back. Police say the victim was awake and responsive and was immediately rushed to the hospital. The police began a hunt for several masked perpetrators. The victim is rapper BLOCCBOY from Hagalund.
BLOCCBOY. It's a BLOCCBOY, I would assume. But yeah, sure.
He's been shot and was in critical condition. BLOCCBOY has made references in his songs to the gang NBA, which has its base in the Hagalund area where the shooting took place, and they have a bloody conflict with, among others, the gang HAVAL, Headshot Ligan, which has so far resulted in several shootings, murders, and attempted murders. A couple of months ago, on October 27th, 2022, several shots were fired from a car with an automatic weapon in Hagalund. No one was injured in the shooting. Rapper BLOCCBOY posted an Instagram story shortly after the shooting where he's standing in Hagalund basically mocking the shooters. The media is called
All this fucking social media stuff, man. It's just mad.
calling it a crime wave with murders, shootings and bombings as revenge for the murder of 19-year-old rapper Einar, shot dead
Rest in peace, man.
in October 2021. Is there any truth behind it? What we do know is a lot of Swedish rappers and their associates have been in the headlines since Christmas for various violent acts. Let's get into it. On Christmas Day, gang member and aspiring rapper Dumle is shot several times, including in the head, in a parking lot in Rinkeby in Stockholm. The 27-year-old later dies in the hospital. Dumle and another rapper, HAVAL, was the only two people with rap.
Yo, this is the PS beat, man. Or at least a sample. Damn, that's nice.
Dumle and another rapper, HAVAL, was the only two people with rap superstar Einar when he was shot at, chased down and executed by a masked gunman. Dumle was until his death the only official suspect.
If you know Guten Tag by PS, you're gonna hear what I'm talking about, man. In the sample in the background.
Rap superstar Einar when he was shot at.
Damn, now I'm paying too much attention to the beat, man. Damn.
7-year-old later dies in the hospital. Dumle is shot several times, including in the head, in a parking lot in Rinkeby in Stockholm. The 27-year-old later dies in the hospital. Dumle and another rapper, HAVAL, was the only two people with rap superstar Einar when he was shot at, chased down and executed by a masked gunman. Dumle was until his death the only official suspect in Einar's murder case. Dumle was suspected of lining up Einar and having him set up and thereby aiding and abetting his murder. The following Monday and Tuesday, a former childhood and close friend of Einar, a 22-year-old gang member, is targeted when two explosives go off at an address and apartment building the man's family lived. The 22-year-old gang member turned to bitter enemies with Einar, and on the internet he has been pointed out as Einar's killer. The young man has never officially been a suspect of a...
It's mad how all these guys were friends and now now they're opposition, and yeah man, the street life just looks messy, I'm not gonna lie.
As Einar's killer. The young man has never officially been a suspect of the crime, even though he later was a suspect and held for involvement but then released for a murder and attempted murder that took place just 11 days before Einar's murder. Just days after, the entranceway to an apartment building address connected to rapper HAVAL is also blown up with explosives. HAVAL was sentenced to prison for his involvement in the 2020 kidnapping and beating of Einar. While HAVAL is locked up, his little brother is shot dead in April 2021. Suspicions were directed at Einar for being behind the deadly shooting, which the rapper also implied in some of his songs before his own death. Several other shootings and bombings take place before New Year's Eve in Stockholm, connected to people on both sides of several gang wars. On New Year's Eve on Saturday evening, a shooting takes place in Vällingby, where 3 people get shot and 1 young man dies of his injuries.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
This incident is being connected to a conflict in Hässelby in Stockholm, where former friends on 2 sides, called Hässelby Gård and Hässelby Strand, representing 2 different areas, are at war. Rapper One Cuz, that claims Hässelby Gård, seen pouring out champagne next to the subway sign in a social media video clip.
I'm not gonna lie though, I don't really see that as the celebrating a Uppgångsstad. It was on New Year's, so but yeah, I guess I don't know how these guys think, so it's possible.
Which is seen by some as celebrating the shooting and murder aimed at the other side. Just 2 days after the new year in 2023, an address and entranceway connected to One Cuz is blown up, a possible gang retaliation. Another rapper along with 3...
And also in the comments, if you're not Swedish, let me know what you think about fucking they're putting bombs in apartment buildings and shit. Like, I don't see that happening anywhere else, I'm not gonna lie.
3 other men is arrested the same day and held for a couple of days before being released. On January 10th, a young man that was shot in the hand and injured just 10 days earlier in the New Year's Eve murder in Vällingby.
Yeah, I've seen this, man, this shit is crazy. And this guy was in that McDonald's we saw earlier where a guy got killed as well.
Hand and injured just 10 days earlier in the New Year's Eve murder in Vällingby, narrowly escapes another attempt at his...
I mean, it's really hard to talk about this life when obviously I'm not in it. So, but yeah, I don't see how this life attracts you. Even though you might get money, but all this stress and fucking... Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess a lot of young boys are pressured into it as well, I would guess at least. But yeah, it just looks crazy, man. They're shooting into apartments, blowing up apartment entrances, whatever, man.
His life when he is shot at a train station. Several more shootings and bombings have taken place since then. If some
It's crazy how close they were as well. Damn.
or any of these incidents is connected to
I heard as well the guy got a bullet hole in his jacket, so he was lucky, man.
revenge for dead rapper Einar remains to be seen. But seeing as most people affected by these events are either gang members or affiliated with a street gang, there can be many motives for the violence taking place in Stockholm the last month. Two now 20-year-old rappers are charged with murder after a fatal shooting in Northern BLOCCBOY.
Yeah, if you wanna check this video out, I did it a couple days ago. It's in Swedish though, so if you're Swedish and wanna check it out, go check it out, man.
In Gothenburg on July 7th, 2022. In addition, 3 people, a 19-year-old woman and 2 men aged 19 and 20, are charged with accessory to murder when the 22-year-old rival gang member was shot to death. On a Thursday afternoon, July 7th, 2022, shortly after 4 p.m., the police were alerted to a shooting at Länsmanstorget in Hisingen in Gothenburg, Sweden's second biggest city. Shots have been fired outside a convenience store and a young man is shot. At least 2 masked suspects were seen leaving the scene on mopeds. A witness say they heard 7 or 8 shots and it almost sounded like someone was hitting nails into a plank and then heard screaming. The target and victim, a 22-year-old man, later died as a result of the injuries he sustained in
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
the shooting, the police announced hours later, and that the man is known to the police and has connections to gang conflicts in the area BLOCCBOY. The police arrested 2 suspects for the crime less than an hour after the murder after a massive police search. The following day, a 3rd person had been arrested. The 2 suspects who were arrested first were suspected of murder and the 3rd was suspected of accessory to murder. The actual shooting and gang murder were caught on video from police CCTV on Länsmanstorget as
Broad day as well, man. There's kids and everything. Yeah, no. There's no limits to this shit. Like, it's just whenever, wherever, man.
surveillance footage from some of the stores. Between the years 2011 and until September 5th, 2022, at least 139 shootings were carried out at
Since
5th, 2022. Between the years 2011 and until September 5th, 2022, at least 139 shootings were carried out at Hisingen in Gothenburg, which resulted in 22 people being killed. During the years 20...
Yeah, that might not sound a lot to like Americans or in London or whatever, but in Sweden, man, that's a lot. Like before we didn't have any shootings. I mean, like 10 years ago you would barely hear about shootings. Now it's like fucking every other day someone is shooting at something, man.
2021, 2022, there were 14 shootings and 3 murders, where the majority of them occurred against people connected to the conflict in BLOCCBOY. The gangs
Also, they got some fucking crazy weapons, man. They're running around with fucking AKs and shit. It's just, it looks like a fucking movie, man.
are referred to as Södra, South BLOCCBOY, and Northern BLOCCBOY. The rapper C3 Toulouse and the rapper MJ are charged with what the prosecutor says is a gang murder, but also with illegal weapon possession. The 2 male accomplices, described by the police and prosecutors as leading figures in the gang, with aggravated weapons charges, and the young woman for aiding and abetting the gun possession. The prosecutor's office says the motive for the crime is a conflict between gangs in BLOCCBOY. The man who was shot to death was a member of the group Northern BLOCCBOY, while the accused rappers and others are members of Södra, Southern BLOCCBOY. The murder victim belonged to the same gang as the 17-year-old who was convicted and sentenced to 8 years for the murder of a police officer in 2021. And the murder...
That shit was crazy as well, man. Rest in peace to the police officer, man. That just goes to show, like, there's no limits, man. Shooting a police officer in the head. And he's like 17. Yeah, I'm not sure how this shit will end, but we'll see, I guess.
The victim met the 17-year-old shortly after he killed the police officer. The 17-year-old gang member and cop killer had previously been convicted of a brutal attempted murder on November 13, 2019, when he severely stabbed the now accused 20-year-old man in the neck, who is also described as a leader in southern BLOCCBOY. 3 people from Södra, South Biskop were in a car, and 2 people from the same gang were on a moped outside a store on Landsmanstorget where the murder victim was. When the victim left the store, he was shot at least 7 times and died from his injuries. On the same day, the 2 rappers MJ and C3 Toulouse, who are now charged with murder, were arrested, as well as 3 other people now charged with accessory to murder. The evidence consists of surveillance footage, witness statements, the murder weapon, and DNA from items used during the crime. Here are the pictures from the CCTV footage capturing the murder. The police arrived to the
this shit is crazy, man.
scene 10 minutes after the shooting, and the victim is later declared deceased. The perpetrators then leave the scene on 2.
Also, what's mad is that they fucking... I think it is if you're under 18, what is it? You get like 4 years for murder. So it's no wonder they use the kids to like do the murders, man. It's just fucking... Yeah, no, it's fucking crazy, man. I just think if you're old enough to kill someone, you're old enough to fucking do the jail time, man. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think.
2 mopeds in different places. They get rid of the mopeds, clothes, gloves, masks, and the murder weapon. When the police conduct searches, they find all this evidence, and most of the evidence can be linked to one or both of the rappers and other gang members, with the help of photos, videos, and DNA evidence. Rapper MJ is the alleged shooter according to the prosecutor. The rapper C3 Toulouse is the alleged perpetrator on the moped. Before the shooting, MJ and C3 planned the crime together with 3 accomplices, 2 men and 1 woman, a cousin to a previously slain gang leader. They had intent to kill the victim or someone else from the northern BLOCCBOY gang. Crimes are deemed serious because the acts of the perpetrators showed particular recklessness and brutality. When it was an unprovoked attack in broad daylight.
Yeah, you're gonna hear this all they're saying this is so brutal and all of that, but wait till they get the sentence. They're gonna get like what, 5 years max, I swear.
In a public place with a deadly weapon against a defenseless, unarmed victim. The 3 accomplices are accused of leading the shooter MJ and C3 in the direction to the crime scene and provided them with masks, took care of the shooter's cell phone. The 2 male accomplices have also furthered the act with the higher position they have within the gang in relation to MJ and C3, which means they had a central role in bringing about the crime. During the shooting, 7 shots were fired. 2 cartridges and 3 bullets are then found in various conditions at the crime scene. The shooter hits the victim with 1 shot that resulted in an entrance wound on the back of the right shoulder, an exit wound on the left side of the torso, causing massive internal damage and a large amount of blood in the lungs, which then led to the young man's death. If you want more videos about rappers and gang violence in Sweden, comment and like this video.
Yeah, go give him a like and go subscribe to his channel, man. And yeah, this shit's just crazy, man. Let me know what you think about it. I think I heard something like, so far in 2023 there's been like 23 shootings and like 7 or 8 explosions, something like that. I think it's 1 or 2 dead so far. I'm not sure, man. Might not be any deaths. Don't quote me on this, man. But I think I heard it somewhere. At least I think I heard 23 shootings and like 7 or 8 explosions. And for Sweden, that's a lot, man. Yeah, let me know what you think about the whole situation. If you're not Swedish, let me know what you... Is this how you think, what you thought Sweden looked like? Just let me know, man. I'm curious. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, man. And I'm out. Peace.